He took
I
a
wear the side every
polo.
day.
Do you
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, I wear the side every day.
That's what
I get Bruni, I get complimented on my polos, the ones that you got. What are these called? Like Travis Matthews or something?
yeah.
Every day.
He took
I
a
wear the side every
polo.
day.
All right,
Do you really?
Yeah, I wear.
we are live on YouTube. So
Nice.
do you guys have it all queued up to uh 22:25?
I'm ready.
Like
So that
22, 28, but yeah.
so wherever if you're watching along, we have it queued up to 22:25. We'll kind of hit timestamps throughout, but go ahead and hit play and let's hope this is better than
So are we gonna go 3, 2, 1? Are we gonna count it down?
yeah, go ahead. I'm at 22:33. I hit
Bro.
play.
What, dude? Go back. Go to
All right.
22, 25. We all gotta watch it at the same time.
Okay, hold on.
All right.
There now. 3, 2, 1, play.
Nice. Hunter Hollenbeck.
I like the shaved head.
Dude, he
Definitely
looks he
not
looks
what I thought you
BA.
guys were talking about earlier.
Yeah, we got to keep this a little on the rails. Let me.
Well, I didn't know what his haircut was. I hadn't seen him.
Oh, I should really turn this sound down. Sorry, guys.
That's me too, and I have to kind of get the chat so it can go.
So, somebody's got sound going.
That's
Let
me.
mine.
Hunter Hollenbeck starting it off, 405B, 55 points. Here we go. I'm so excited about this. This is so fun, guys.
I always enjoy when we do this.
I'm like, I pulled my recliner into my bedroom and I'm watching from my recliner on the TV. Got the YouTube on the TV, got the stream here on my little like tray table that I have across my lap. This is legit.
Scores are 5, 5, 5,
Well,
This is just
5.
Somebody's got some loud sound.
Oh, that's me. Sorry. How do I do it?
7B.
You did.
Oh.
what do you mean how?
just mute the YouTube.
Technology still tough for all of us.
All right.
Dude, I gotta be honest, Zach Welch is kind of like not surprised me, but surprised me a little bit. Like, I know he's good. He's always been good, but I don't know. I guess I just didn't expect a senior national, like legit contender out of him. And he's here. He's killing it.
He was in it last year too.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just dumb, but like,
I mean, he's got a
your words,
list.
not mine, dude.
He has like a 305C in there, which is like consistent for him, but
yeah, he's a good diver. He's
So,
yeah.
Bruni, you've watched a lot of what's happened already.
yeah.
Like, what's your takeaway from like the presentation perspective of the live stream so far? Because I haven't been able to watch a ton until today. Like, I watched the prelims today, and that's about it.
Yeah, dude, I thought every one of the live streams I've thought has been awesome. They have kind of two camera angles going. So like when the dive's being announced, a lot of times they're showing like the athlete. And then as they're walking down the board, they'll cut to a different angle, which is more your traditional, what we're looking at right now. Okay, so here you go. Here's the example. Mason Mankey's up. They're looking at him kind of from a bad angle. If you were to watch the whole dive, he does 2 steps of the dive. They go to a different camera angle. And then you get the whole thing kind of from that side profile, the view that we're used to seeing. I'm really happy with all that.
That's what I see. I liked what I've seen so far. And Mason's a kid. He made it in on the pre-qual, correct? From the
They even got an instant replay going. Like, this is sick.
Yeah, slow motion replays. I mean, that's definitely an improvement from like we're just gonna chuck a camera up here and
yeah.
Well, luck. And the other thing that I noticed too, so I watched a little bit of the qualifier meet, and originally when they were doing like women's 3 meter, men's 1 meter, they had the men's 1 meter results kitty corner across the screen, and the same thing for the girls.
Wait, time out. What did you call that?
Kitty corner.
What do you guys call that?
Across the screen? I don't know.
I don't even know what he's trying to say.
Like when something is
I've stopped trying to understand Aaron months ago.
I would say caddy corner.
He is white noise. I guess I'd say caddy corner.
White noise. Ooh, Connor guessing 107 was good.
Bro, kitty corner?
Yeah, kitty corner.
Up there in Minnesota?
Like crisscross applesauce. When you cross your knees.
I'm never coming to Minnesota if that's how you guys talk.
Come on, that's
anyway. Sorry, continue. I just had to jump in there.
Anyway,
I have to take advantage of it.
The video stream wasn't straight up and down. with where the results were showing. Why is my screen freaking out? And so it was just, and then they fixed it, and it was so much better once they fixed it, which was appreciated. So
Aiden had a good prelim.
he's just solid.
Yeah.
He's just solid.
But besides that, we all kind of agreed when we were texting, right? This prelim was rough. It was really
Yeah.
rough.
Well, I mean, like, it's a weird time of year to have these meets.
That's true.
So I know like the junior divers, I don't think that there's many. So Mason and I don't know if anyone else made it. I can't see the names. It's too small. I'm getting old. Like December is a tough time to be competition ready. Like I was just down in Florida for a meet. Had to keep kind of reiterating that to my kids.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're not really training to compete right now. We're training to still learn dives because a lot of kids are moving up. I mean, college kids, like they're coming off of finals.
Yeah.
They're not even hitting the ball. I mean, Dylan, like you and there, like December's a weird time. Like,
Yeah, that's what
good luck. Go put together 6 of your best dives and hope it falls together.
that's like. We didn't have like Alexa didn't touch a diving board for a week, like during finals. That's not true. She got on a couple times, but then today she got in and like it was rough. And she's like, I haven't touched a board. I'm like, I don't care. Like it's after finals. Like I'm happy you even want to get on a board right now. Like I'm happy with that. So through the first two events in fantasy, just for if anybody actually so we're gonna post this as a podcast too, Dylan and Ben.
Oh,
So
great.
Aaron won the 1 meter event.
Yeah. According to plan, baby. L
Everyone.
plan.
I don't know. You kind of manipulated the rules there, bud.
It wouldn't be fantasy if
I was
manipulate
lied
the
to
rules.
about how this was gonna work.
on men's 1 meter, Dylan won by what is that point?
It was point like 3.5 or something.
Yeah,
I'm
point
last.
3. No. Who is in last? Let me see. So I have total points right
If I'm in
now.
last, I resign. I don't want to do so.
Total points right now is Heath 1230.75. That's from prelims today, not up to date with finals. We'll have to kind of keep that track of that. Then it's Aaron 1162.75.
Quinn's Twister much better than
There you
Dylan.
go. Quinn's
that's
double
better.
out, much better.
Followed by Dylan 1152, 10 points down from Aaron. Then Ben 1135, and then Samson 1119. So all within about
Not in
100
last.
points.
Love it.
No, you're second. You're second. Samson's last.
That's what I'm saying. Not in last.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Anyway, yeah, Quinn just nailed double out way better than this morning. Happy to see that. Off to a good start.
All right.
But we should review some fantasy, like for the people at home.
Yeah, go ahead. You hit him
Well-
with it, Rooney.
What we do is we randomize the draft order for each individual event. We can't do synchro because there's just not enough teams. Carson, another good double out. And so we basically do a snake draft. So the person with the first overall pick, they get, there's 5 in this group right now. So they get the 10th overall pick in the second round, and then they go back to back 10 and 11. So it's a snake draft. And we try to use every single diver in the competition. Now, it got interesting for women's platform because there were 25 total picks and there were like 20 divers or something like that. So we had to cycle back, and once the divers were eliminated, then we went back to the top of the order. It gets really difficult when there are scratches that we don't know about.
Yeah, this meet is bad. It was tough with this. It's not bad. It's just part of the game for this
And
meet.
so, like, for example, I had Nick Harris 109 on 3 meter here, and then we saw Jake Passmore was a late kind of addition too. So Dylan had a Nick Harris 1 meter dive, so we just subbed in Jake Passmore. Well, Jake didn't compete 3 meters, so now I got to find another dive to sub in, and the event had already started, and of course, I want to win, so of course I'm going to pick the best possible dive, and then these guys are going to say, hey, no, you don't get that. Your guy didn't dive. You get a 0. So there's a lot of good back and forth.
In
If
all
a
fairness,
quarterback doesn't play the game, if they don't get the points, I'm just saying.
in all fairness, Aaron and I are absolutely the two that will try to argue.
100%.
And the best part is, like, Ben just goes, I don't really care what you guys do. Just tell me how bad I did. And Dylan will just mess with both of us, and Samson's for comedic relief.
Yeah, no, it definitely takes like a lot of people paying attention and a lot of people like able to check in kind of at almost all times of the day. So I feel bad like blowing up your guys' phones, but it was like, oh crap, this other person isn't diving. What do we do with Samson's list or Heath's list or it's chaos, but it's so much fun.
But let's be real. Me, Ben, and Samson don't have real jobs, and you're the boss at your job. So Dylan's really the only one with like a real corporate job that like can get in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. I definitely have it on in the background, and every once in a while I'll get frustrated if a customer comes in, but it's like, no, wait. Your priorities are wrong right now. You need to
No,
make
they're
money
not. They're
first.
They're actually correct.
That's so funny. I did that today. Like I was watching women's 10-meter prelim and somebody came in. I was like, dang it. I was like, wait, no. I can't say dang it. I like customers. We need more customers. I need to check myself.
What about this question for you guys? Who's going to have the highest scoring dive on men's 3-meter and on women's 10-meter as we watch this?
Yeah, I'm sure Darren's probably gonna have it on 10-meter.
Yeah, I bet Darren's
Might have already
207.
happened, honestly. Are we talking about just the final?
Just the final.
Their 207 was dirty in prelim.
It was crazy.
Yeah, just the
Yeah.
final. Could be
I
Bailey.
would still say probably Darren. I just think that she's the most consistent.
Yeah. What
Bailey,
about
please
men's
don't kill me.
3-meter?
I'm gonna say either. Oh my gosh, any of those top three: Carson, Jack, or Quinn.
Okay,
307.
You got to pick one.
I'll pick.
I already
Carson.
know. So
Oh,
you
all right,
don't get to
don't
pick.
give any hints.
it's just like, dude, I stay off social media. I didn't look at the scores. I tried not to look at like videos and stuff, but it was Snapchat. Like
Oh, that's
Snapchat's just
tough.
going and I see something and it like pops up in front of me and I'm like, dude.
That's tough.
All right, you got to
But
pick.
yeah.
I'll
we
say
have
Jack,
something
but I don't
good
know
in
which one of
store.
his dives it'll be.
I'll say
Jack.
that.
Yeah, I would think Jack. I feel like this has been like Jack's weekend.
Dude, Jack
like ran away with it. Like I feel like it's his weekend.
been making me eat my words about fronts and inwards not being a strength. He is unreal.
Yeah, we
People
definitely
love making you put your foot in your mouth, man.
I'm
It's
very
great.
How you feeling?
What you get for
about-
having hard opinions.
Yeah, yeah. How you feeling about our girl Rooney, Ellie Reese tonight?
I was excited to see kind of each dive progressively get better in terms of like a total score from prelims. Obviously, it wasn't a great prelims. I just hope she's able to get comfortable. I mean, there had to have been nerves.
Yeah,
Oh, I mean, a 12-year-old trying to dive in a meet like that, like,
Yeah,
yeah. I
I'd
would
be a little concerned if there wasn't.
yeah, for
I'd
sure.
almost be like you're a serial killer. Like if you have no nerves at 12 at that age, like you are a murderer. Like, and it could be just in diving. Like you just murder every single dive. All right. So going into tonight, finals, Ben, you have 3 people back: Ethan, Swart, Sebastian Otero, and Farouk. I have 3 people back that can up their scores: Jack Ryan, Collier Dwyer, and Jacob Welsh. And Dylan, you have 1.
And they're not up in their score, I don't think, right?
How did it go? How was this first time? Oh yeah, it was like 58-5. It was identical.
Yeah.
Dylan's list is not
Dylan
looking good.
Yeah, Dylan had a rough prelim, but that's okay. That's all right, Dylan.
But you look at the list and the picks are good
Honors looking
too.
good.
Like it's not a bad
The
list.
picks are good. The picks are good.
Wait, did we tell Ben that Lindsay texted us and her teammates were talking smack on Ben? Did we tell him?
Oh
What did
no,
I do?
This
They
is
were like,
funny.
I'm just down in Florida at a meet trying to make picks. I'm not even like really looking at my phone, just throwing names out there.
Yeah. How
Catching
did
strays, apparently.
How did your kids do?
It was a good meet. It was interesting outside at the Fort Lauderdale pool. Super windy.
Oh,
which
really?
I guess is normal. But that definitely had an effect on a lot of things. A lot of people stepping back, saying like, "Hey, I need to wait for the wind to die down."
Was it
Apparently
cold?
today, like there were a lot of like 10 people had to redo dives because the wind was so bad. But it was a good meet. Like it was super fun. Like to see like some international kids. Like Canadians are very impressive.
Nice.
There's a little kid from Mexico who's 13, dove in the 14-15 age group doing 107B full out.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Phenomenal board work. Like I had not heard that kid do anything but catch the board.
Huh.
Very impressive. But it was a good meet. I'm glad we went down.
That's cool.
You mentioned Ben. You mentioned it was windy. Like, was it cold as well? I mean, that sounds
One
awful.
morning was very, very cold. Like I ended up like kind of throwing my kids to the wolves and was like, hey, like you guys keep warming up. I'm gonna run back to the hotel across the street and grab a change of clothes, like throw on jeans, and some shoes instead of my shorts and my slides. But they were just like doing like their on deck warm up. So it was cold, especially for the two younger kids that we had there. Um, but no, it was great. And I know that it was cool for them to have some kids from Canada and have some kids from Mexico, I believe, Croatia, Korea. So it was cool.
That's cool. How many kids did you take down?
Just four. We
Nice.
opened it up to our whole like national team, and because of high school, and we have the same, a very similar rule to what Aaron talked about in the one podcast, where like they can't do a ton, including competing outside of high school season without a waiver.
Mm.
So a lot weren't willing to even do that.
That's-
And then it's a tough time of year to miss a week of school to
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
to a diving meet.
Dylan, how's the real world, man?
It's fine. I don't know. Like, it's fine. I work from home most days. Um, just doing like IT stuff. So just on the computer, spreadsheets, in meetings. Like, I wouldn't say too much different than any
And
other
with a nice 205.
Yeah.
job, really. I
Wow.
will say though, I wish I studied more in school.
What? Said no
But
one.
not for the knowledge portion of it, for like the stamina of being at my desk all day and like working all day. Just because like we would have practice and class and like I feel like every athlete kind of feels this at some point, but like if you have like three classes in one day after practice, you're gonna start feeling like you're gonna fall asleep and then you have to kind of get out of that and stuff. And some days I just like 4 hours will pass and it just feels like it's been forever.
Wow.
I'm excited. You guys see Carson's been doing 407 on 3
Dude,
meter.
Yeah, it was
yeah,
solid.
he
It was solid.
he just went. It's
Nothing
so
spectacular. It was good.
it's crazy, like to me how low he finishes that, but still finds like a lineup.
Mm.
I mean, he didn't rip it by any means, but he was vertical and like he had no time to react. That's nuts.
Bruni, how's the high school season kicking off for you for the men?
Pretty good, man. We had a really fun meet this week. It was not like a normal meet, but
Jeez.
it was very, very entertaining for me. I was laughing on the judges panel at my own athletes multiple times. We had a good time, but we're kind of in that refocus zone now. We have nice Jack Ryan 205B. Dang. 72. That's
No one had that
Every
one.
crazy.
time. Every single time.
That
Dude.
man is on a mission.
Hey, I think he's still
Wow.
a belly smacker. I'm just throwing it out there.
That's actually true. That is very true. I'm gonna have to hit him up for that. He has all these really big meets, and I just like don't want him to do something dumb before a big meet and then have it be my fault that he's not competing or something. So it's like, yeah, we'll do it later. But yeah,
Cruising
like
through this already round 3.
like I
Yeah.
said, for
we're
the high
good.
school season, like we're gonna refocus now and going forward, be a little more like, okay, time to kick it in. So,
Makes sense.
what about you, Heath? How's the season going?
It's going good. We like were super sick. Like everybody on our team was insanely sick for like the first month of competition season. And then everybody kind of got healthy. And so things have been steady, which is really nice. Like everybody's been healthy. I mean, even your girl Ben, Colleen, she's kind of even actually been healthy, which is crazy.
That never happens.
Right? Like we probably had like a legit like
Dude, 207 is such a crazy dive.
Insane.
but probably like a month of like her actually being healthy the whole time. And I'm like, oh man, and she's doing good. You'll appreciate this because your her inwards and fronts. We're at West Virginia.
Damn,
And
just catching strays for no reason
I was
tonight.
just gonna say, Ben. Okay, so there's an inside joke here. We joke that Ben cannot coach fronts and inwards.
in all
which very,
fairness, Ben jokes it too.
very clearly the man can. So anytime somebody from his former team or his former athlete does a good one, we just have to say, "Oh wow, good job."
So we're at
Just
West Virginia.
destroying my self-confidence.
We're at West Virginia, and like it's a better meet for us than Akron for sure. And we were gonna like kind of go easy and see if she could sneak into a final. I'm like, hey, you like got to do 405. And so the one in prelims was just it was so bad. And so she comes up and she goes, I just want to do a decent one that I can be happy with for the end of my semester. I'm like, okay, that's a good goal. Like, walk through a couple things for her to focus on. She did like the best one I've seen her do, maybe ever. And it was like, there was no coaching. She just went up and threw and she goes, I'm just going to start doing that. I said, what did you do? And she goes, I was just like, hey, if I hit the board or land on my back, at least I was spinning and I had a good stand up. And I'm like, yeah, don't hit the board though. That'd be cool. Like, please don't
A
do
lot of
that.
paperwork.
Yeah, there you go. But no, it's been good. I'm ready for a break. They're ready for a break for sure. But yeah, we have a good crew. We got 5 guys active this season, 6 girls. One's been out a little bit with an injury, but it's been good. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, man, of course. You asked all of us. Nobody asked you.
That's okay. Dylan, do you miss diving?
Me?
Yeah.
Not really, to be honest. Like, I mean, maybe the people, like just seeing everyone going to competitions, like that's always fun. But like actually diving itself, I feel like kind of my body had its time. It's nice like working out on my own, like kind of when I want to. I'll say like having some like spending money as well is really nice. Like I don't know if I
Yeah, I
could
don't know
go
what that's
back
like, man.
to like being a college student again. Like I don't know if I could do that
Well,
with
don't
no
become a
income
diving coach
coming
either.
in.
Don't become a diving coach either. You won't have that if you're a
Yeah,
diving
if you like
coach.
spending money, do not become a diving coach.
But yeah, I'd say like kind of like maybe miss like the overarching parts of diving, but not necessarily like diving itself.
I still think we have you and Bane
You're
sign up and do
307.
the qualifier meet once a year, and you actually retire.
Dude.
No longer can be top 3 and qualify through to the meet. Only on 1 meter. You don't have to do 3 meter. Only on 1 meter.
So let's talk about that actually. Like, what do you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
think about them changing that rule to, regardless of if you hit the score or not, the top 3 do make it through? I know we've talked about that. Is like how many, like, what was it, 2 or 3 years where no one made it out of the qualifier or one person made it out of the qualifier? I know being on deck, like people were kind of pissed.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean,
that's
like
a
I
good
feel
thing.
like last year on 3 meter, the only two that made it were Otero and
Grayson.
Campbell, right? And like Grayson, obviously, like he should have been in that Winter Nationals. I think everyone would agree that.
Yeah.
And Otero, like Otero's a good diver. Like he does hard
Yep.
dives. He has consistent dives. He has some dives that are a little bit weaker, but like that's everyone. You know what I mean? And I think like he deserved to be there too. But like from watching this year's, I don't like not necessarily no one deserved to make it through, but it just didn't seem like the competition was really there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like there's
The
some
depth
divers,
level
like we were
wasn't.
talking about Ohio State, like they didn't even come to Winter Nationals. Like it just didn't seem very competitive in the first place.
Yeah.
I like the idea and I like how
I like now that if you say you get 20 kids that sign up for it, at
Yeah.
least now there are 3 spots. Like they know, hey, I'm paying to enter this meet, and some will
Yeah.
have and
Yeah.
some won't. At least now it's like, okay, I'm paying to enter this meet, and like if I have a good list, like I can get the chance to qualify through. And so like at least there is like not just the score, but like there is at least a chance to get these kids through. Because I mean, like, like especially on like 1 meter, like anyone can hit 6 dives on 1 meter and put a list together. And it's like, okay, like puts a good list together and they get to the final and like they actually do decent. Like, remember that? I mean, I remember the one year Aaron and I went and Alan Bottego won the qualifier. And then after the prelim, he was in second place, I think, just to Tyler Downs, wasn't it, Rooney? And it's like,
Something like that.
and it's like, holy crap, like this kid's good.
Well, was Mason through from the qualifier? He's in the final.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, yeah, I do believe so. Yeah.
I think that there's not a ton of chances for junior divers specifically. I'm a junior coach. I'm not a senior coach, so I don't know a ton about their qualification. I'm sure their NCAA meets count. But for juniors, like you have what, one real chance, two if you count semifinals and finals,
Yeah.
to hit a tier score. and that's your route in, or you have to do a qualifier.
Yep.
Quinn,
Historically, at our qualifier,
Quinn.
they're judging real hard.
Yeah, 307. Let's go.
All right, so you had 68.25 in the prelim, 70.
73.5. That helps my fantasy list. Thank you, Quinn.
I vote we just disqualify Aaron. I'm sick of this. This is not
Been
a fun game
talking
for me.
mad
Man,
sauce.
I need this energy whenever Rooney's trying to manipulate everything.
I did. I literally told him, I was like, dude, you had someone who had a failed dive. You get 0 points. Like, that's how
I
this
didn't have a
works.
failed dive.
You did, didn't you?
No.
No, he didn't
No,
have
I think you got it mixed up. But yeah.
Either way, if you get a failed dive,
Oh,
you get
yeah.
0 points.
I will
yeah.
own that. If
Mainly
somebody
because
has a
I
failed
don't want to
dive-
be in last, and it has not happened to me yet. If it does happen to
Yes.
me, I get to repick the dive.
If
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
now you
no,
sound like me.
this was definitely tricky with like the scratches. Like there was a lot of
Oh,
kids.
I mean, that's tough.
And like I think we did a decent job. Rooney maybe got the shaft a little bit more than Dylan did.
It's okay.
we're
It's
learning
my
as we
it's
go.
my game anyway, right?
Yeah,
All right, here's the one that I have no clue how it went, and that I'm interested in. 'Cause
Jack-
it was the only one
Jack
in
Ryan,
prelim.
407?
Yeah, it was the only one in prelim that he didn't hit.
Oh,
pretty
that's
much.
right. That's right. He did miss this one in the prelim.
And it
Yeah,
was
like
like it was a
fours.
pretty big miss. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Jack Ryan.
And my link bros, great.
All
A
right.
little long.
All right.
Better than the prelim, just a little
Yeah.
long.
All right. I know
Mine just showed him in the water, so I didn't even see the dive.
I know some of you will not know and or care of this question that I'm about to ask you, and I'm only asking because it just popped up on my phone. What do you guys think of Travis Hunter winning the Heisman over Ashton Genty?
Did he actually?
Yeah,
No way. When did that
Yeah.
happen?
just now.
Just now, yeah. Like,
Wow, really?
Yeah, that's trash.
Cool.
I
Oh,
mean,
it's-
what do I know
it's
about college
trash?
football?
Yeah, why should he won because he plays cornerback and receiver. He wasn't the best
Or who else
cornerback.
does that? Does that not make him the most
Oh,
outstanding?
it wasn't like a QB.
It's like the most
No.
outstanding player, and like Ashton Genty literally probably is going to break Barry Sanders' record that hasn't been broken 40 years.
Yeah, but at the same time, like
He does play for Boise
you're
State.
playing very high level at 2 positions. Like, does that not make you the most outstanding?
I think he should be there, but I'm like,
I mean, I don't know. I don't get a vote. I'm a
you
diving
should.
coach from
I
Ohio.
think you should
like,
get a
I don't-
vote. I think they should let us decide all awards.
But you guys posted the other thing. Like, what about those? Like the diving awards. What was it? Australia did.
Yeah.
I was
think
actually
they used to give out like awards. I think like a couple years ago. I know like there was like a junior coach of the year, a senior coach of the year. I do think that they did that.
So yeah, we kind of asked around, and like someone said they did something at Olympic trials at like that. What's it called? Like the Rings of Honor or something. Like they did
Yeah, I
something.
thought that they did it. So when I first moved down to Greensboro, so that would have been 2017, I think.
Right.
They had Winter Nationals like a week after I had moved there.
Right.
I do think that they had a banquet and did some sort of awards.
Yeah,
Don't
like
quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure.
I just liked. I was talking to Aaron about it. I said I just like, and I think in our group text too. But I just like the fact that like Australia diving had like clearly brought all their athletes together for this giant like banquet weekend type deal. And they go over the plan for the next 4 years for the junior and senior divers. And I don't know what that looks like. And I don't really care to know. I mean, it'd be interesting, but like, it's none of my business. But like, they go over their plan for how they plan to get to LA and be competitive. Then they have like this giant banquet with awards that are for senior and junior divers. And it's like, I just think that's freaking awesome. Like, it's a great way to like recognize athletes. Like, they had like breakthrough diver of the year. And it's like, oh, I think that'd be really freaking cool to like go through and do. And so we cannot do them because I am a college coach, and I'm pretty sure it'd be considered tampering for me to give an award to another diver. So Aaron and I are asking around if someone that wants to be the sponsor for the meet, and then him and I just
that'd be something like the
awards.
PDCA could probably do more than anyone.
Yeah. So it's like I think
let's face it, like USA Diving doesn't want to do it because then people are going to get mad that certain people got awards over others, and like whether it's fair or not, like kind of they just kind of get crapped on constantly.
That's fair. Yeah, I think it's more fair than it's not.
205. It's also I'm sure it's not like honestly not a priority right now.
Yeah,
like we had a let's face it disappointing showing at the Olympics.
Oh, here's a bend dive.
Unanimously, we kind of feel that way. Like
yeah.
Wait, he switched it
I thought he
to
did. Yeah, I thought he
407?
did 405. I thought
He
he had.
did?
This is what I
407.
originally picked.
He
Yeah,
did
Ben.
earlier. So Ben, if he beats 54, you can have it.
If he gets exactly 54, I quit.
Nope.
Amy.
No, he's not gonna beat 54. That would be
I
hilarious.
hate
though.
this game.
How about we give you 40.8?
Honestly, I still contend. I think technically speaking, Dylan won men's 3-meter. We've never had someone not break 300 in fantasy diving on men's 3-meter.
Maybe it was just a rough day. We all have them. It's okay.
It's part of the plan. It's all part of the plan,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Full disclosure: we are not mad at the divers.
Oh yeah, not at
We
all.
understand
No.
the sport more than many.
Yeah, we're more or less just making fun of Dylan because it's fun. Because guess what? Tomorrow, sure enough, inevitably, like my team will suck or like Ben's team will
Connor's
suck,
having a good
and
night.
we just get crapped on.
Dude, Connor guessing just flips fast. His 307 earlier, he just spins like a top.
You coached him, right, Ben?
No, Todd Michael.
Todd Michael. I couldn't remember if he started out with you guys over at Westchester or not.
That was
No, as far as I know, his entire junior career was with Todd Michael.
Nice.
hey, legit question though, because Moldoff is the reverse king. So
Facts. That's a fact. What's your question?
No, I think
I
that
said-
was yeah.
that was a legit question that you asked him.
No, I
if
mean
he
it was
coached
like a
Connor's
similar area.
reverse.
So
Oh,
like, Todd was coaching like 45 minutes away from Westchester when I was there.
I'm with you, Heath. I heard what you heard.
Like you were confused as well?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool.
Again,
Hey.
this is why we ignore Aaron when he talks.
That's fair.
He is white noise.
Oh, I don't think we talked about this. So it kind of comes back to that like roster limit stuff that's all happening.
Mm.
It's starting to like affect recruiting on my end where like I'm hearing from kids I maybe typically would not because they're like, I reached out to these schools and they're like, we don't have a spot for you. And so they're like, so I have to keep my options open. But this is crazy. I don't think we talked about this. It didn't even process to me. There's going to be a lot of Division I schools that are mid-majors that maybe wouldn't typically apply to roster limits that are going to have them because of schools like Villanova. Like Villanova, most of their sports aren't super strong, but their men's basketball team is going to want to do revenue sharing because they can win a national title. So Todd and them are probably going to have roster limits and cut teams. So like there's a lot of teams that will be in situations like that of like,
Yeah, I know. Like speaking for Ohio State, just because I live in Columbus,
Mhm.
like originally they were like notifying some teams. I think the one I heard about was men's gymnastics.
oh yeah,
That they were essentially going to be treated as a club sport. And then a few weeks later, the AD came out and said that was a good 207.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the
Kinda
AD did
really-
not say that. The AD came out and said like, no, we are not cutting any of our sports. Like they're all here to stay. Which I know, like Ohio State's got more sports than most schools.
yeah.
But it's definitely like a turbulent time.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it's one of those things like I love where I am at in terms of like here at Clarion, and it's like this is one of those times too where I'm like, man, I really love where I'm at because like I'm not stressing about that at this moment. I think eventually it's going to happen, but not yet. I'm trying to
Here
stay.
Here we go for Quinn, 53-37.
He's kind of killing it right now. I feel like.
There is a
He's
really
diving the
good.
best he has. Yeah.
There's a great battle for 1 through 3.
Mm.
That was good too. Just a little miss, a little long. What other US teams, junior teams were down there, Ben?
So it was us, Carolina Diving Academy, Moss Farms, and Com.
Oh, nice. Has Moss Farms got their new coach yet? Is he there yet?
He is not there yet. So I think that is like they're trying to work through. I don't know if I can talk about it. Has it been announced?
Mm.
So I don't want to go into it, but he is not there yet.
Okay.
That's not my news to share.
Yep.
Yeah.
Um,
Fair enough. Super fair.
But they do have a coach. There is a transition happening.
Interesting.
Proctor is settled in Midland.
That's cool. I've heard he's enjoying it. Like
He is
Luna
happy,
trained there,
yes.
and I have another boy who trained there, and he's like, I'm having so much fun diving with John. He's like, I freaking love John. I'm like,
Dude,
nice.
I feel like this is a
Dive.
moment right now
Deep
in this
dive.
meet where Jack is gonna bust us wide open. Quinn had a little miss on 53-37. Carson definitely had a miss on 205. And here comes Jack for 307. Like if this goes down, nobody's catching Jack.
He did this for 77 in the prelim.
Dang. I mean, he's capable of even more. Let's see. Uh-oh. A little arm flap. Oh, smoked it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I don't think anyone's gonna be touching Jack if he
Dude.
keeps getting as good as he is. Like he is.
84. He's up by he opened up a what is that? 27-point lead. Nice.
I don't think anyone's gonna be touching him if he
No.
keeps doing how he is. He just keeps getting better.
Yeah, I agree.
He's got the
What-
massive list. Like
And he's-
Carson Tyler is so clean and consistent, but he just doesn't have the list.
Yeah.
Especially
He keeps adding DD. I
Yeah,
mean, we've seen the
especially with
triple
triple
out. We've seen the 109.
And it's good DD. It's not just like sloppy DD.
Yeah.
What- if you sit in like the day where it clicks for 207 for him, like his 205 on 1 meter is insane.
Yeah.
So if that can just transition to 3 meter, which I can't imagine it won't, it's just going to take time. Like you're giving him 4 years to figure that out. Like,
Yeah.
he could be a real player. Like come 4 years, like not just in the US, but like internationally, like he could be.
Junior or a sophomore? Junior, right?
Junior.
Yeah.
Yes, but like 4 years till
Yeah.
To LA, and he won't have to go super far away from where he's training now. I mean, who
Yeah.
knows what the future holds or where he's going to train, but
Yeah.
same state at least at Stanford.
Man, it's Harris been so fast.
I know.
he's so like I feel like he kind of came out of nowhere like last year during the college season. Like I mean I'm just not it could just be I'm naive, but like I feel like he just kind of like busted out and it's like he started smoking 307s and 53-37s and we're like, oh, this kid's good. And then he made winter nationals and ever since then it's like I always keep an eye on what he's doing.
Well,
Yeah.
a lot of it is like he doesn't go to one of those like traditional powerhouse schools.
Yep.
So like it's not like I sit on dive meets. I'm like, let me just look at the UIndy
Yeah.
scores.
Yeah.
Or what,
Yo.
IUP UI, is that where it goes?
IUPUI. Yep. I wonder if Zach
I think
Welsh.
now it's called IUI. I think they
Oh,
got
really?
Yeah, I think it's IUI now.
Cool.
Confusing.
What I was thinking with Zach Welsh, I mean, maybe not the exact same, but a similar trajectory. Ben, white noise. You can just tune this out.
I do
What if
already,
it's
doesn't matter,
what if
man.
it's like
Don't worry
a
about
kind of a simplified version of Jack Ryan, right? Where he has a smaller list, he's super clean, he's super consistent, but as soon as he starts to beef it up, are we gonna be talking about Zach Welsh in a couple years? I mean, the dude's got all the foundation.
it. Yeah, I mean, 3 years is a long time, or 3.5 years is a long time.
Yeah.
A lot's gonna change.
Ben, how do you like? I know we've talked a little bit about it just like over the last year or so. How are you liking your like transition to Columbus versus Greensboro?
I like Columbus a lot more than I thought I would. The winter is not very fun.
Fair.
It is miserable here right now. Especially coming back from 80 degrees in Fort Lauderdale and stepping out of the airport and it was like 20 and sleeting.
Fair.
The job is good. It's a lot. It's, controlling a staff. Luckily, like Mandy, handles a lot of the administrative stuff for me.
Nice.
Because anyone that knows me knows I'm not a super organized human being. But it's a great group of kids.
Cool.
As much as they do tire me out and stress me out, and I have very few complaints.
That's cool.
I feel very lucky to be where I am.
We have freaking one of the nicest facilities in the world. It's freaking awesome.
Yes, I'm very, very spoiled with that facility. It's
Legitimately in the world, which
like
is awesome.
10 springboards, a stack of towers, the 10 meters over nothing,
Can
belts
we
over
also-
1 meter and 3 meter.
Can we talk about so you guys know Aaron and I are going out to Bergen. I just like looked at their actual facility. I'm like, this is gonna be awesome.
Is it cool?
Yeah, it's like
I haven't
stack-
looked.
It's like stack of towers, 2 3 meters, 2 3 meters, and then I think they have 2 1 meters, 2 1 meters on both sides. So it's like symmetrical.
Oh, interesting.
Then you're gonna take aces there, right? That's what you committed to, right?
No.
Damn it.
USA Diving did send out meet information for an opportunity in Madrid.
Oh, cool.
I hope I wasn't not supposed to share that, but
Whatever.
Allegedly. Say allegedly.
If you say allegedly, there you
they
go.
said it, yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
But I just saw like a picture of that pool. That pool's really nice. It's got like a dome
Oh, the
ceiling.
Madrid one
Yeah.
with the city in the back.
No, that's Barcelona. No, this
Uh,
one's an indoor facility, but it's got
I
like
know,
a
I know which
cathedral
one
or
you're
dome
talking
kind of
about.
ceiling.
Oh, right.
So that's pretty
It
cool.
has like the whole window in the ceiling.
Yeah, the whole yep.
Yeah.
I think of that pool and all I think about, I think it's Bree Adams 307 there. Like there's a video of him doing 307 or something there, and he just like destroys it. Absolutely. I mean, shocker. He destroys the dive.
Yeah, he's good. Farouk.
Would you say
Farouk-
he's like a reality show now?
Yeah, he's doing like Survivor type stuff,
Nice.
or at least he did.
Would you guys ever do Survivor? Like the actual Survivor game show? If you
No. God no.
Not Survivor, no. I'd do Wipeout.
Oh, Farouk with a killer 407.
I have told all of my divers this. I would absolutely love to do Survivor for one reason.
What?
I would do the show Survivor for one reason.
You'd lose right away.
No.
Because you wouldn't have to shave.
I would 100% terrorize my own team. Like I'd throw the like who the F threw the rice out? Like burn the camp down. Who burnt the camp down? Like just try to like sneakily sabotage my own team just for the TV ratings. Like if they want good
Oh
TV,
my
ratings,
gosh.
put me on.
That is the most Heath thing I've ever heard.
You're telling me you wouldn't watch that and be like, "This is hilarious." Heath might.
I
make
really
it
don't.
an
I don't
episode.
trust you as a human being anymore.
Welcome to my world, bro.
Like you can't tell me you would be like, "Oh, Heath's on the show. He might only make it one episode, but that one episode is going to be gold."
Yo, Heath at my wedding threw out his best man speech
that's
and
true.
was like, "Hey, I'm just gonna wing it." And I'm sitting there like, "Well, buckle up. We don't know what we're gonna get."
Just white knuckling the table.
You did keep it on the rails, though. I appreciate that, brother.
It was all right. It was all right. And I just like sit here and I'm like, I thought of all the different ways.
Oh, Quinn.
Looks
I
like a
thought of
knee
all the
buckle or
different
something.
ways. Like, imagine if someone went on Survivor and just was like, "Oh, I thought this was Naked and Afraid." Like,
Jesus, man.
like, just like
Okay. I
crazy
was
shit.
actually thinking about that because I would do Survivor. I wouldn't do Survivor, but I'd do a show like Naked and Afraid. And then I was thinking, like, how funny would it be to send us four out into the wilderness and just have to like live?
I'm not doing it naked. I'm not
No,
doing
no. It doesn't have to include that, but I'm just saying,
Yeah,
like,
you're about to
us
get me in
four
so much
in the
trouble.
it so
wild,
much.
us
I'll-
four in the wild with nothing. You think we're surviving?
No,
I
dude,
give
I'm
myself
useless.
2 days.
Not at all.
I'm completely useless.
But
But
there
what,
could,
they get to bring an item, right?
I don't know what the actual show is. I just know it was on Discovery Channel.
Yeah, we used to watch it all the time when I was in high school.
Dude, Carson missed another 307. That's the second one I've seen him miss today.
Like quick off the board.
That's
I
the
don't know.
second one I've seen him miss ever.
Or the added benefit, if I were to do Survivor, I would definitely lose a lot of weight. No doubt.
I guess.
That could be my diet.
Have
Just
you
get-
seen the show Alone, where they literally like put you alone in a Canadian wilderness? That show is next level.
That's where
I
like
would-
like they put like 10 people or something, right? And they're on
Yes.
like dude. I've seen isn't
Oh.
Wow. Jack Ryan's on fire, bro.
That was disgusting.
I've seen the one where like he literally like
89 on Gainer Twist for Jack. What?
I've seen the
9.
one where like the guy kills an elk and he like smokes it and puts it up in a tree and a grizzly bear comes. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah. That show is sweet.
Yeah, that dude's living my nightmare. I don't
I would
historically
love
do
to do
great with
something like that. And
wildlife.
like 2 weeks into it, I'd be like, okay, this is enough. Like,
This is enough.
Dude, 2
I'd have an
weeks.
absolute blast.
2
within, like,
I'd be like 4 hours in. I'd be like, get me
Yeah.
out of here.
I would have a blast, and then like within 24 hours, it'd go from having a blast to having the worst time of my life.
Yeah, like I'd be, like, as soon as I was like, okay, like I'm like over people, get me out of there. Like I'm hungry. I want like Chinese food. They don't have that here. Bring me back to civilization.
That's where I'm at.
All right.
Apparently
Okay.
my wife says that I am a very like particular sleeper. Like can't be too hot, can't be too cold. Got to have the right amount of blankets. I mean, I will firmly disagree because I can sleep anywhere, but
Bro,
what?
particular sleeper. When we were in Hawaii, you slept on your back like Dracula.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Like a Victorian plague child.
No, like
she's
yeah,
making
you
it
guys are
up.
kidding. Like I'm talking straight on his back, arms at his side, military style, and that's it.
I like taught myself to sleep like that from freshman year in the dorms because their cots were too small.
Zach Welsh. This is a Heath dive.
That was a little better than Heath does the dive.
Oh yeah, it is no, I meant like I have it for fantasy.
Oh, dang it. Now I'm sad. 69.7, that's an unbelievable dive. And it's
Yeah.
on your team. That's so annoying.
I'm over fantasy. We're not talking about it anymore.
Yeah, I'm with
Can't
Ben.
talk about it unless it's benefiting me.
Wait,
Okay,
can
fair.
I do have like a legit question for you guys. When you play fantasy diving, like you got to be honest. Like who's the one person you want to beat? Because I know Aaron only cares if he beats me,
That's correct.
and he knows I only care.
I
if
just want to not get last, and it's not going great right now. This is what happens when you draft a team while coaching your actual team at a meet. And you're literally just throwing names out
Holy
every
shit.
couple of minutes.
Luke Forrester, 69.7 on inward, 3.5. That's baller.
He's
Like,
good.
I don't think I even opened up dive means to like look at dives. I was just like throwing out a name and hoping they did that dive.
That's
would-
amazing.
You 100% did
I mean,
that.
I know like most of the lists at this point. Like,
Yeah.
You would just be like, "Hey, is this person still left?" We're like, "Yep." You're like, "I'll take that."
yeah, like I'm busy right now.
You
I
would
did-
like tell us, you're like, "Hey, I can't draft. I'm coaching," and we're like, "Okay, no worries." And then we text you, and we're like, "All right, we just finished. We're good."
How old is
Oh, thank
Mason?
God.
What
I
was
believe
it?
he's a senior.
Okay.
He's going to IU, right?
I believe so. That sounds correct.
Ethan Swart.
The other
Ooh.
thing I noticed from like this meet in general too is like Jack Ryan is locking in.
Yeah.
Like in the 3 meter prelim, like besides that inward, he was just going crazy. Like even on 1 meter, like Carson, like Quinn, they're all pretty consistent, but like they all are having misses here and there. But Jack Ryan is just like you can tell he's just like in a different world than every other diver there.
You think
Like
he's just
he's
like,
there to hit, he's there to win. Like nothing's gonna stop him.
you think he's just like catching that groove or this like, and it's like a trend, or do you think it's like just hey, he hit it this meet, like you know what I
No,
mean?
no. I mean, it's been like that for however like a year and a half now. I
Yep.
mean, Jack Ryan's taken over. He's had his issues with fronts and inwards. I think we can agree.
Mhm.
All
I feel
agree
that on
that
a
at
personal
different
level.
meets, but like, I mean, he put down his fronts and inwards yesterday on 1 meter.
And today it looks like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'll see. And yeah, I just don't know. He's looking so good, so consistent. Like,
It's exciting.
I don't know. And I don't think it's just like a one-time thing. Like it's at meet after meet after meet, whether it's a prelim or a final or whatever.
I agree. I just thought it was a good question to ask.
Yeah, yeah.
Like honestly, like we kind of used this person as an example earlier. It's not a knock. Like Alan just had that amazing 3 meter meet at Winter Nationals a couple of years ago, and like I feel like we've seen him do that sporadically, and it's like
Yeah.
if he's on, he's really on. Where like sometimes you just see someone finally like catch their groove, and it's like that's kind of what I feel like is going on. Farouk, someone has this dive.
Ben has
That
this
was
dive.
really-
It's
yeah.
going to go really well. Here we
It
go.
was good in the
It doesn't
prelim
matter. I'm
too,
like a
right?
million points behind.
I know
Okay,
you're
for
good.
for the overall, bro. You got to have pride.
Again, still a million points behind.
That was an interesting little hurdle hitch. Oh, good dive.
79.8 is what he's trying to beat.
Oh, yeah. You're going to beat that.
Yeah, probably.
83.6.
Let's
Give
go.
me those 4 points.
Hey,
Oh wait, no. The very first time we did this, I did not win a single event,
and you won
but
the
won the
overall.
overall. I did do that,
It's
and
amazing.
it's gone downhill ever since.
Another Heath dive here, Rooney.
68.4. You got to beat it. Collier Dyer. 109.
He's gonna.
Collier's getting really good too, dude.
I know. Have you seen that triple out videos he's been sharing?
Yes. Yes.
Ooh.
That should be better than 68.
Oh, yeah. I would think so. 72.2.
Yeah, he finished that triple out so easy.
He's
Like
good.
he's good. He's strong. He flips fast.
He's just a nice kid too. Like just when we got to
Yeah, he's
talk to him in
awesome.
person,
He's
like
awesome.
super good dude.
He's
Uh,
locked in too. Like this year is like his year for diving. Like from what I've heard from him. I think from his podcast when he talks to you guys.
He's just he was just really easy to talk to, really fun, like just a cool dude. Really enjoyed talking to him.
Now Brando's over there too.
He was also someone too that like I think we talked about it on the podcast with him how you started kind of that group text with those group of guys, and like Zach would mention obviously like you a bunch and Lucas a bunch, but like he would be like he can't say his name, like Zach can't say Collier's name. He says Collier. Allier. He cannot say his name. It's hilarious listening to Zach try to say people's names, but he like couldn't say his name, and he's like, Collier's like really good, and he talks in this, and like he's really good, and I'm like, yeah, dude, like Dylan put you in a group text with a bunch of divers that are way better than you.
okay, Carson
I-
Tyler, 5337. Yeah, real good.
And that was Dylan's dive, right? Right on your fantasy list, didn't you trade it out?
I'll take it, but I want the prelim one, not that one.
I'm so excited for this Jack Ryan dive just because Dylan teased it a little.
Yeah.
So this is the highest scoring dive then. Whatever he
It-
It's gotta be.
This
Okay.
is the dive of the meet. This is I didn't see the dive, or I did see the dive. I didn't see the score. I don't know what the score is, but
109C. He needs like 5 points to win the meet.
yeah. Just look at that after the meet too. Like the point separation.
Yeah, I bet it's over 100. Well, maybe not.
It's disgusting.
It's gonna be really close. If he
gotta
goes
be-
over 100, he'd go.
It's gotta be like 80 or 90.
Oh man,
It
Good
does.
for him,
It
man.
looks
Good
better.
for
It looks
Jack.
better in person. From the video
Oh,
I saw, it looked
I mean,
better.
that was still very good.
Yeah.
91.2. Wow, he got a 9 on that.
What's the
Good-
point separation? 90 points, 85 points?
Yeah.
86 points.
Yeah, just sliding a little bit over.
Just a little. That's amazing. Jack Ryan, ladies and gentlemen, 1 meter and 3 meter champ. What a dog.
And synchro
Clean
champ.
sweep.
Yeah. Every event I think there's like something to that. Like for him to go to Winter Nationals, win synchro, win 1 meter, win 3 meter, like that has to be big for just confidence in general.
Yeah.
Carson Tyler getting
I'm
second,
sure.
win third, Collier getting fourth, moving up to fourth. Like I know we were kind of talking the whole time, but like what did you guys think of the event? I mean, it's
I mean,
Jack
overall,
Ryan
like, there was. I think that was a better event than the prelim, from what I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
But I mean, like I said, it's tough to get ready to compete in a meet in December.
The thing I like about it too, though, is like you never know who's making this final.
yeah.
That's
Like
true. That's
I
true.
feel like for Winter Nationals the past couple of years, it's been like maybe 6 people that you know are making it in, and then that last 6 is just like a random batch, you know?
Yeah.
Like we
I do
saw,
like the internationals being allowed to compete in these does make it interesting.
yeah.
I do hate how like they can't be named like the champion though.
I mean, it's kind of a bad look considering we never win our own events.
Wait, what? You've said that for a while
Um,
now. You're like, how embarrassing is it? Like we talk about
I
what
wouldn't say it's embarrassing because like I want to take away from Mia, and she's a phenomenal diver.
not embarrassing for that, just like embarrassing for us at the US.
So I can
like,
say the same thing. Like
yeah.
I took a couple kids down to what's technically a Canadian meet that just happened to be held in Florida because their pool's under
Yeah.
renovation, and Americans are winning those events.
Yep, that's true.
So it goes both ways.
Yep, that's fair.
I mean, Mia's
That's the
also,
point, though, is you want that high level competition. You want
Yeah.
to compete against the best.
Mia's also a world medalist, so it's
Yeah.
It's not like she's like,
That's true. I feel like she had a really good like 1 meter. Like she was
It's
just
also just cool to see those girls competing those dives.
yeah.
yes.
Like,
Like,
I've
for-
made the joke that like my I've actually had this nightmare that I was in quote unquote purgatory, and it was a never ending 16-18 girls regional meet where the voluntaries just went on forever.
All right, I found
and to
I
finally
found
see girls doing big dives on 1 meter, there's actual like parity in it. It's great.
I found the start. I went to 159.32.
159.32.
Yeah, for women's tower with Quinn Fidanza as diver number 1.
No, I think it's later than that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, she's about to go. Like, her arm's already up on my screen.
Yeah, 159.32.
I swear, man, I'm at 2:03:29 and I'm still watching warm-ups.
What?
Oh. Let me go forward then, sir.
No, it's. Oh, it is still warm-ups. It just
Yeah.
Just happened to line up like that.
I know. It's super. I've been trying to like sift through the warm-ups. It's kind of crazy.
But then it jumps to Sophie. At 2:07, it's the second to last diver in the first round.
Oh. Maybe
So
they were.
It must start then. What was that? 159.32?
Yeah.
All right, let me go back.
Maybe they had some technical difficulties.
All right, you guys ready to start?
Yeah, let's do it.
Is that what we're doing? 159.32?
Yes, sir. All right, 3, 2, 1, play. All right, Rooney, you're the judge here, so hit us with the scores since we're not going to get to see any.
Wow, that's gonna be really fun. I think I'm a little ahead of you. So I saw Quintilla Fidanza's 107. I don't know. It's probably a 5.5, 6 by the look of the splash.
I know, because this is Ella. Ella went after Quinn, right? I think in order of finish.
I'm looking at Farrar right now. She's also lining up for a front. Got to be 107. B.
I have that too, but it still shows Quinn's name.
Yeah.
I think that's just screwed up.
Mine still shows Quinn's name as well. Abigail Farrar's 107 was just a little pike going in, a little splashy.
All right.
Is Quinn the only junior diver that made it through?
Ellie
No.
Reese.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like she doesn't
But,
count as a freak.
Lily Rogers.
Oh, Lily Rogers. Yep, she is.
Oh
She's
yeah,
still-
Lily.
she's
Yeah,
still in
that's
high
right.
school.
All right, I'm at Emily Moore. Tell me when she throws her chamois down, then I'll hit play.
Okay.
This has to be so fun for the people that will listen to this.
I thought it was Elliot
Oh,
Forrest.
4 listeners.
Yeah, I haven't checked anything. There are 2 people watching, and I'm pretty sure one of them is me.
Wow.
You're crushing it.
And
Go.
your
Love
and
it.
your mom. Okay, she just threw the chamois.
Okay, gotcha. This is a Heath dive. Let's see how it goes.
This is Emily Moore, right, from Stanford.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Cool.
We had a lot back for this.
Oh,
What's
it's
that?
Lucas
Oh, yeah.
Decaney. Lucas Decaney's watching. He just texted me.
Nice. What's up, Lucas?
They're biggest fan.
Oh, bro, that was not the best takeoff I've ever seen.
It wasn't the best, but that's all right. She's in finals.
That's true.
44.8. That's what I had. And we don't know.
Well, yeah, just check dive meets.
Yep.
Ellie Reese. I think
So
she's
did we
doing
figure out if she did tap her toes on that 405.
for sure. She did.
It looked like she did.
Yeah. I think she must have tapped and then reacted by flexing those feet and then obviously pointing them again.
Well, I mean,
So
it's
she
pretty
missed this a
jarring.
little long in.
Ooh.
Oh, smoked that one. Here she
Not gonna lie,
comes.
probably
All right,
Here
so
we
Aaron,
go.
where did we think she was gonna? What did we put the over on it? Was it 5 that we said like that's kind of the sweet spot that we think she can get to?
Oh, yeah, like final place
Like 5 to 3.
for
I think.
Ellie
Bro,
Reese.
you guys were saying she's gonna win it.
No, we see. Here's the thing. We
No,
said
that was Aaron.
group text.
Yeah, I definitely
Not
did.
on the podcast.
Oh, not on the podcast. Yeah.
I think we said top 5 would be awesome. Top 3 is legitimate.
Dude, even being in this event and
Yes.
legitimately being
12.
competitive.
It's nuts.
Because I mean, the first time I looked at her list with like the way the juniors work, like I assumed that one of those other quote unquote big dives was going to be changed to evolve.
Right.
And
Right.
to see her doing just the one voluntary and then like a legit competitive list and doing it very, very well.
Yeah.
It's her
Oh,
first
man.
time competing these dives too, I think.
Yep.
Yeah,
At
it
12
is.
years old, like it is very, very impressive.
I went through like dive meets to like look at her average scores and stuff. And
I'm not gonna look because it'll show me final place, and I really don't want to know.
Yeah, don't look. I'm updating the individual scores in fantasy just so that way I don't have to keep peeking back every 5 seconds.
What,
Yeah.
Aaron has 2 of her dives,
Aaron has one.
No, I just have one.
and it was like 30 in the prelim.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she can make up like 45 points for
It
you.
was 33.35.
Which one? The
It
205?
was 205.
Okay.
Aaron's 10 meter was kind of like your men's 3 meter.
Yeah.
Not the best work,
Um,
but it's okay. We're back.
Except Aaron's got people back.
That's
I
that's
didn't
the
get
dagger to the
back.
heart.
Touche.
just
I'm
was
excited for
5 on a
tomorrow
7.
though. I'm excited for those events, women's 3 meter,
Yeah.
men's 10 meter.
So that was Lauren Birch, correct?
I think
Yes, I
so.
think so.
I'm pretty
I
sure.
think so.
Yeah, it
So
should
then Camilla's next.
Okay, yep.
I wonder when the scoreboard's gonna update.
I know it does at the end because I simmed
It does
forward.
for Sophie.
Thought we were lost.
It does that. So, oh, sweet. So we're not too far away.
They
No,
just
he.
deleted it entirely. Oh, never
What-
mind. There it's back.
What I was thinking as far as like Ellie Reese goes, like you look at the top three: Darren Wright, Sophie McAfee, Anna Lemkin, Bailey Cranford. Like she's probably not catching them. They equally have.
I think
so
she's got
much-
a chance. Like,
She's got they just have so much more DD, and she has to absolutely shred everything to get there. But I don't want to root for people to not put
Yeah,
like
100%.
5 great dives down.
Yep.
So I wouldn't bet against those 4. So in my mind, I'm like, man, she may be able to get to 5th.
Yeah. Yeah, like my thought, I think when we talked about it on the podcast originally, we're like the over under kind of was 5, and that's the people we named. We're like Bailey, Anna, Darren, Sophie, and we're like Sophia, and we're like those people are kind of those top 4, and like we kind of just want to see where she stacks up compared to them, and so I'm
Right.
really to see where she finishes.
I mean, that's also like she is doing 52-31. Like,
Yeah.
she
Yeah,
does have a legit back twister. Not to say that she just did it for 8.5. So,
right.
when she does have that, like, she's not that far behind in DD.
Yeah,
Well, and I think about like she doesn't do a front either.
yeah,
That's probably one of the most stock. You know, you do a 107, whether it's standing or with a running approach. That's probably not super far away.
Yeah.
If she's doing 405B, you know, it just kind of makes sense that 107B is probably not too far away.
yeah.
All right, here's Bailey.
Her 207 was crazy.
Yeah. Her than Darren's in the prelim was nuts.
Yeah. I like that reel. I'm glad that they posted those two
For
back
sure.
to back.
Twister. That's all right.
Solid.
Ben?
Yeah,
I'm
Ben,
not
hit
gonna
us.
comment on this. What are you trying to get me killed?
That was good.
Aaron,
She was-
you comment since you're our resident Bailey Cranford hater.
Yeah, okay. She was very vertical. I have seen her go in with a little less splash, but it was a good dive. I mean, she
Yeah,
probably got.
some underwater issues, but
What do you think?
overall-
6.5,
overall good
7s on
dive.
that?
I would say probably 6s if I had to guess.
Okay. I've never judged a tower event, so you said our resident judge here, Heath. Like I'm in the dark a little bit on this one.
You're our man. You're our man for this, man. Come on.
I'm not in the like judging
That
lock-ins.
was solid.
Yes, Anna Lemkin. I have that dive.
Great pike.
Let's go.
I will also say this. So obviously I'm like skimming through. I kind of now know how it's going to finish because I see place when I'm updating the fantasy. I won't ruin anything. It's really cool. John Fox takes the cake. When you look at the scoreboard that they just threw up, it's pretty badass to see war as their initials.
For sure. And like the graphic in the background says War
Yes.
Eagle.
Yes.
I'm just a fan.
How come you haven't
Like
started
a
making
107?
their gear yet, Rooney?
How come what?
How come you haven't started making their gear yet?
Hey, I don't know.
40. Okay.
Okay, the scoreboard's updating now. So we got score. Sophia McAfee just got 7.5s on 107B. So we're good now. It didn't quite make it all the way through the first round, but close.
Did Darren just measure out her approach?
That's what I was gonna say. Like, that was a very interesting way
5
to
feet?
do that.
Like,
Yeah.
using her feet all the way from one side of the platform to the other.
Looked like it, yeah.
I mean, if it
Hey,
works,
look at
works.
you know what I
Yeah.
just realized? Look at our girl Cynthia Potter in the background up there.
Right?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, that's on.
Darren.
Yep, that was good.
yeah.
Dang.
That was nice. 72.
Yeah.
72 points. Legit 107. Wow. I feel like she's gotten even more consistent and just
Yes.
better ever since the Olympics. Like
Yep.
like leading up to
When
the
you're talking
Olympics.
about confidence, like that's
Yeah.
got to be huge confidence.
Yeah.
boost.
Like leading up to the Olympics, it was kind of, that second spot. We kept talking about it on the podcast. Who's going to get it? We mentioned a bunch of names with Darren Wright. And then now, excuse me, looking back, like clearly great choice. Stepping it forward. She's just like balling. I mean, she looks so good.
Just broke a Purdue team record, right?
That's
School
crazy.
record.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. On tower.
That's just nuts. Abigail Farrar. I think I have this dive too. 305. Let's go.
You do. I'm updating them. So if you look now, you'll see like the results. So don't cheat.
I won't cheat. What do you mean? I
just
can't
don't
look
wanna
at
see my diver
fantasy
scores.
lists?
Makes me
Yeah,
sad.
because I'm updating everything, so I don't have to
Oh,
keep
I see.
keeping
Oh,
track.
nice. That one probably beat the one in prelims.
Yeah, you had like 33 points.
Yeah, let's go to 50.
There you go. Plus 17.
Boy, he's making a comeback.
Feet slipped apart right at the end.
Yeah. Ella Rosselli.
I think I have this one.
You
Maybe
do.
not.
Here we go.
I ended up seeing this one as well.
Does that mean you're happy or not happy?
I think it was still better than prelim.
No, it
Maybe
was all right.
maybe right on average.
Yeah, just a touch.
Looked like she was maybe a little back on the platform.
It looks good in the air though.
Yeah.
Just a little splashy.
Dylan, you come out of retirement, become a tower diver.
I got you. Come train in Columbus.
Yes.
Katie texted me today about the men's 3-meter prelim.
Oh, what'd she say? Curious. If you don't mind sharing. If you can't share, don't share.
She was just talking about it and she's like, "What happened? Like, what's going on?" She was mentioning some people. I won't mention that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Not in bad, like just good divers that didn't have a day. I
Yeah.
mean, a handful there too.
Yep.
And I made a
Yeah,
joke.
that's always
Like,
tough to
oh,
see.
I feel like I feel like I could go and put a 300 point list together.
Yeah.
Maybe dual meet, but
all right, Ellie Reese.
205B. Let's go.
This is a Rooney dive. You had 33 points.
I mean, kudos to John for being able to do this. Like, I'd be so afraid to even just send a 12-year-old up to 10-meter to do it.
Right?
All right, come on, Ellie Reese.
oh,
Oh, dang.
It just looks like she's just out early on that. It looks like
Yeah.
Yeah. 34.8.
a little
I feel
better.
like in a lot of ways that dive is way harder than a 207.
Oh, I
Hmm.
bet. I can't even fathom doing a back dive up there. So yeah. So for our listeners, we were joking around at one point saying how for Dylan he had to get on the board and do a 107 or a 105
105.
and that's the score we would give him. And I got off that train really, really quick because I'm really nervous that one of my divers is going to scratch with a 207 and you guys are gonna be like, Heath, if you go do 207,
I'll just take the 0. It's fine.
yeah, facts.
Heath, but when I did like technically come out of retirement, when I was coaching with you guys in Clarion, the knee buckle straight to my back on the 1-meter. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember. It was
I
No,
feel
it was
like
built
I feel like
character.
I'd have a good amount of those if I started diving again. There's
It was-
no.
absolutely terrifying.
That's the thing though. Like I just started running. Like I signed up for the Pittsburgh Marathon. We talked about
Yeah.
that. And like it is insane how much I favor my left leg more than my right
Really?
leg. Like when I'm running and then like from like picking up running, just noticing how much more like how much more pounding I do on that left leg compared to the right leg. Like I have like some ankle stuff going on because of it. Like I need to get running shoes, but like even when I'm just doing like when I'm standing in the shower, just like under the hot water, like I am noticing like all of my weight is on my left leg and not on my right.
Huh.
Like
That-
it's crazy. I need to like fully switch it.
All right.
But yeah.
Fantasy diving is all up to date.
Let's go.
Would you like to know the results from men's 3-meter?
Yeah, why not?
You tell me, am I gonna get angry?
I'm good.
No, don't worry.
Dylan,
Going by
Dylan
last.
says I'm good.
I'll drop the call real quick. Just text me when I can.
All right. In last place,
Fifth place.
Dylan.
Come on.
286.75. In next to last place, Aaron, 337.1.
That makes sense.
Third place, Ben, 355.65.
Wait, Ben beat me by 20?
Yes. In
Yeah.
second place, with a score of 361.1, Samson.
Bro, you beat Samson by almost 40.
And then I got first with 400.45.
That's nuts.
So let me ask you this question. Out
Okay.
of the events that have finished so far, what pick did those people get?
Oh. The winners?
Yes.
Okay, men's 3-meter, I was third. I was right in the middle. Men's 1-meter, Dylan was third, right in the middle.
Yeah.
This is what I thought. Yeah.
And women's 1-meter was first with Aaron on the front.
Okay, that was interesting.
Here's the thing.
I
though,
figured like the being because of the snake draft, like being on the
Yeah.
ends like doesn't really benefit you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's usually though, like it's only because we're on like once we choose a diver, they're fully out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Like,
definitely
when
threw a
you
wrench
start,
because we
you
hadn't
get,
done that in the
like-
past.
Yeah, you get full
definitely
choice, and then what? You get like pick 11, I think, or like what? We have 11.
It's way more fun though, because like I watched the entire like events today and the prelims.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, like, I'm cheering for everyone. Like I'm actually paying attention to every single dive, and I'm not going into like autopilot on a dive.
Yeah, I mean, it was like I had to pick divers or dives from divers like I don't even really know, which is
Right.
not to say that they're not deserving of attention, but
Yeah.
they're the non-traditional people. Like,
You want to hear my big idea right now that I told Aaron, and I don't think he's for it or against it yet. We do this, but we got to get like 10 to 12 people, and you draft the zone meets, and you can draft from any zone.
oh my
Dude.
God, no, absolutely not.
That'd be
No
so
way.
hard.
No.
So fun.
You would
Bailey,
have to jump on a
It
call.
took long
You
enough
have
with
to jump on a
5
call to
people.
draft.
All right, so if it's us
That's
five,
also tough because like you can't do it from separate meets because the judging is going to be different at every meet.
oh, that's exactly why it would be fun. You
I'm
know,
just going to pick
Zone
everyone
A.
from Zone A. That zone's
Yeah, I'd be
historically
all for
like
I think it'd be
Exactly.
cool. I think it'd be cool to do a like fantasy draft with 12 people. But like if you can't get everyone on a call for
Yeah,
like an
that's
hour
true.
and just draft straight and like but I think it'd be cool because if you get everyone in a call like on a Saturday night, Friday night, whatever, maybe weekday, but like have a timer so everyone gets 1 minute to choose.
Oh, I
So
think
it's
it'd be
like it has to be quick,
be
but
fun.
yeah, I think
It'd be
that
fun because we would literally do all 3 event
good orange
drafts.
stand from Anna.
I think that'd be cool.
We'll have all 3 events drafted in like 15 minutes.
Yeah, could you imagine drafting like Zone A women's 1 meter? There was like 100 girls in it last year.
Awesome. It'd be so much fun.
No.
No, that sounds terrible. Having to pick from you have a minute to pick from 100 girls.
Yeah, but it's down to
I can't
99
even
after the
read.
first
I
pick.
can't read 100 lists in a minute.
Dude, it's
down
not
to
even
99 after the first pick. We know there's at least 75 girls you don't want to pick.
Damn, getting aggressive, man.
Okay,
The
maybe
crazy thing
okay,
about
what?
that is though,
Let's
even-
call it 70. Get crazy. I'll add 5 more.
even picking these meets though, like you don't see any statistics. So I'm scrolling through the list and we'll like miss
Yeah.
a person here and there. Like,
Well, it gets to like, especially so. We'll use this event as the perfect example where there were not enough
yeah.
Yeah.
to cover everyone having to pick a different diver. Where we did have to go back through. If you didn't plan out well, like,
Yeah.
it was tough. I mean, again, I wasn't really paying attention throughout the draft. because I was coaching, but like I was like, I don't even know who's left. You tell me.
Yeah,
Yep.
see, for me, I knew I was going to get one of in my mind, my top 3 picks between Darren, Bailey, and Ellie Reese. And so I just made sure that I found a
Yeah,
dive
because you
that,
cheated and you complained until we
Well,
changed the rules to favor you.
you
Tell
should
the
hear.
people the truth.
I appreciate you. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Anyway, I knew they
He literally told me on the phone. He goes, yeah, I was gonna argue real hard for this, but I know if I was you or Ben, I would have definitely argued against it pretty hard.
Yeah, I
did
mean,
say
it,
that.
like, if it affected anyone, it affected me
It definitely hurt you the most out of anybody.
Why did it hurt you the most? You got to pick.
because I was the
You
first
got the
overall
first
pick.
Because he literally would have been able to pick Ellie Reese than Darren Wright.
but he got the second pick, like the second time around.
Correct, but he would no. You're missing the point. He would have got
Yeah.
Bailey's 307, then he would have got Ellie Reese, and then he would have got Darren.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah. We don't.
I would have
want
won
that.
by a million points.
No, we don't want that.
I
did.
feel like you still would have
How
found
about
it.
this?
Ben.
Hypothetically,
Probably. You're probably
if
right.
you did have those picks, who would you have taken?
Good
Oh,
choice.
I mean,
Good
I'd have
good
to, I don't even
question.
know what my list is off the top of my head. I know what my first pick was. That was it.
Well, you would have had Darren Wright's inward, and then you would have been able to pick an Ellie Reese dive, or anybody else except Bailey.
I mean, that's tough for me to answer now because I've seen her do inward.
Right.
Oh
I've
no,
seen
I
her
picked
do
that.
back.
I already picked
Like,
that. Yeah,
those are the only 2 dives that I had seen.
fair enough. So you probably would have picked that.
Probably
you-
would have picked back, which would have
But
been
you-
34 points.
Or I would have thrown a curveball and just picked someone else. Who said I
Or
was picking Ellie Reese?
Pick
I
your
don't know what's
back.
happening.
Pick your back twister.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Ben's luck, he would have picked Ellie Reese's like back, and Bailey would have like punched him in the throat and been like, "Why didn't you take my back?" He'd be like, "I already took your reverse." She'd be like, "Take them both."
Yeah, there was a system of I knew what dive I was taking first and then nothing after that.
Nice.
You did. It was an on brand pick.
Ella did back 2.5, 2.5, right?
Who?
There's a video where
Yeah,
she was with John
in
and
the
Michelle. She
past.
did it. Yep.
It was good. Like she made it, right? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
She said she started getting lost a little bit in that. That's why she's just kind of, I think,
There's
building it
definitely a
back
lot
up.
going on.
I mean, it's a big dive. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting when we were at the last chance meet in Indy last year. There was, I think she was Korean, doing 307. So there are like people like going, I guess it's technically back because I mean Laura Wilkinson was doing 307, 52, 55.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like that's starting to build back up to these girls can do these big men's dives. Like the girl that is from Mexico, like she was doing a full what we would call a men's list,
Crazy.
like including 109.
Here you go.
That's pretty wild.
and then you have China over there with like 12-year-old girls doing 109 and stuff.
That's crazy. So I was talking to Mikey from Fort Lauderdale because he took some of the U.S. divers to the high diving world, junior worlds in Brazil. And I guess China's finally starting to put together teams.
Oh,
I
okay.
understand like they are
Oh,
just
sick.
dirty.
Really?
Like they were already
63?
just that's
Dang.
solid.
Ellie Reese, 305C, 63 points. That's an improvement.
But like, yeah, I mean, like, and like we like were kind of joking about it. Like these are probably like the quote unquote like rejects from China. That didn't make it in traditional diving.
Dude,
Yeah.
And they're
legit.
going up there and like they are just dirty at high diving. So that'll be interesting to see. Like now that like will they be at Worlds? Will they be at I guess like the Red Bull circuit?
Right.
Is it just another thing where they're just gonna completely take over?
I'm still
I do think they have a facility.
I'm still
Yeah,
also,
they have scaffolding.
I'm still also fascinated with from when we led up to our interview with Lee, like we did a lot of like background research. We got it from like several reliable people that like high dive is off the consideration for the Olympics, and Lee was adamant that it is not. And I'm very curious, like one group has to be right and one group has to be wrong, and I'm curious as to who it is.
I heard some people kind of talking about it. I was in Florida. Some of the Canadian, I guess I kind of overheard it.
Right.
At the like coaches social where there's just not a big enough
Yeah, they don't have
pool
enough
of countries to pull from.
Yeah. There's not enough countries.
Like there's like you get like the traditional like the US, Canada, Australia, where there's like at least more than one. And then you get a bunch of random countries that may or may not have someone. And they're probably training in the US or Canada or Australia.
Yep.
So it's hard to make an Olympic sport where there's four or
5.
five countries even have someone capable of doing it.
Yeah.
Again, I could be completely wrong.
That makes. I mean, that's you essentially echoed exactly what we were told. So I'm curious to see what happens there.
Yeah, I mean, weirder things have happened. Like they put breakdancing in the Olympics, so
Yeah.
How would that work though? Because like technically with the Red Bull sponsorship, like technically isn't it a Red Bull sport, like cliff diving?
I think that that's technically cliff diving, and then there's high diving. But I
It's-
think
I would
they would
imagine it's
technically be
like-
two different things.
Yeah, I would imagine it's like when the X Games sponsored all those
I guess
events.
I guess it's in World Aquatics, right? So
Yeah,
it's fair.
I mean,
I
it
like-
was like that was the first time I'd ever actually seen like high diving, like people going up to 20, 27.
how was
Like,
that?
it is insane to see in person.
Mhm.
Really?
It's like I've seen videos, like it doesn't do it justice. Like even looking up at that tower and like seeing the top of 27. Like a couple of my kids went up to it. I was like, I'm not going up there. I was
They'll
like, I
push you
will, like, I'm not doing it. But then to watch people doing these dives, it is truly incredible to watch.
That's cool.
Well, you guys saw Max Flory.
I was
on
yeah, I
Instagram
was
up there,
just
right?
gonna mention that.
Yeah. Crazy. He was
That-
having such a blast too.
That would be sick if you got into that. Like I would.
Well, he
That's
was
awesome.
going to. So he was training with them, right? Like right after trials, because like he wasn't doing much. I think Randy made him take a break or something. And he was gonna compete in their like qualifiers. Because he just needed like he had
It
two
doesn't sound like
voluntary-
taking a break.
yeah,
That sounds way
Um,
worse than just keeping
it
on
sounds like
diving.
the opposite and worse. Let me climb higher.
He signed up, or I think he was gonna sign up, and then technically, like, since school started, like the university didn't let him compete in it.
Yeah, like a
It's
waiver
like
issue.
yeah. So he couldn't, but
That would have been cool to watch.
yeah, I mean, he caught on real quick, I felt like. At least
Yeah, I mean, even like watching some like the build-ups that
Yeah, it's
those people had to
crazy.
do, like it is
Crazy.
wild.
I just can't fathom like how you piece that together in your brain.
I'm
Like,
shocked.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
still like think back every now and then when like I coach a full out and I'm like, all right, like what do I think that they need to see? And I'm like, and I start going like, it's like, oh, don't do that. Like I get freaking motion sickness sitting there trying to think about it.
Those voluntaries aren't even like diving though. It's literally like free falling.
Right? Just
Like the gainer flip pike, they're literally just free falling in the air.
that's better. Bailey's inward was better than in prelim.
Was it? I mean, I didn't see any of prelims.
Yeah, I think it was a little better than in prelim. Is she like in Texas? I don't know how much you get to talk to her. Is she like in Texas?
We talk occasionally. She said she's enjoying it.
Good.
She gets along with the team well.
Good. That's awesome.
Sweet.
So I mean, that's good. Like
When that's
I-
going to be good, adding
it's
that girl.
tough to have those kids move on. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's going to be good adding that girl from Mexico and them training together. I can't imagine that's going to hurt things.
no, I guarantee it won't. It'll be cool. I mean,
That tower crew is nuts for women.
Yeah.
it is. I mean, that whole team, like I think that they're gonna get impacted pretty hard, but for the time being, it'll be pretty cool.
That's what I like. Someone asked me today at the clinic we were doing, and they were like, "How do you think the transfer portal is going to be?" And I'm like, "I think it's going to be insane."
Yeah, it's gonna be a mess.
All right, explain like where we are on that because I like have totally checked out of like NCAA like roster stuff.
All right, so I hope I do this justice. Aaron, Ben, if I mess it up,
Ooh, Sophia McAfee, really good 305.
Like just
So-
from a basic overview because I know you mentioned like some schools don't have to do it because of like
I could be wrong about that. So like, okay, here's what I understand it to be. What I understood at first was if you are in the Power 4, Power 5,
Hmm.
you are included in this because they're doing revenue sharing, right? Like, so they're
Okay.
sharing money with the athletes. So they have to have roster limits. And so I think as of right now, the SEC is the only one I think that has released the official, like, and the only one I think that it is the men's roster. It's like they're going to have 22 men's roster spots.
For
And
every like it's roster stuff for every sport or just Olympic
there will be
sport?
roster limits for every sport. So like football, they used to have 85 scholarships. I'm pretty confident in because I like Ohio State. So I was listening to this podcast and they were talking about this and they're like the roster cap was however big for football, they could have 150 kids, whatever. I don't know how many it could be. But now the cap is like 150 and you can have up to or 105. I'm sorry, not 150, 105. And now you can have up to 105 full scholarships, but you can't go over. The reason why they did that is schools like Ohio State, they would have an 85 scholarship limit, but they would just get an NIL deal for
Yeah.
player 6 to have their school paid for. So it was like you could still continue on. So now there's a roster cap for every sport. So I think every sport or every swimming and diving team that's doing it conference up to this point, except for SEC men, is 30. So, and I am assuming the roster limits are not going to be counted like how it is at conference, where like a diver counts as a half or in some cases a third. I think it's like, hey, you're a roster spot, you're a roster spot. So, Aaron, what do we figure out? Like 5? Like we think 5 would be
4.
yeah, like 4 is like the percentage breakdown of like to have the comparable amount. But like when you think about the SEC men, like teams that are really heavy on swimming, they might give you 3 divers. Like teams that support diving might give you 4 because then you have
Yeah.
like you have 19, 20, 21, 22. That's your 4 spots, and then you have 18 swimmers.
That's
So
hard though, like because
there are teams
at
like
least
there are teams that have like 6 male divers returning and they sign 2. So it's like, okay, you're gonna have 8 kids on your team. You have to cut 4 guys if you're even given a 4. Like that's
yeah,
nuts.
but like just having 4 divers in general too, like say one's injured, like that's one from every year. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know like Katie likes, I mean, we have like a pretty big team, but it's like if someone's injured, you always have someone to substitute. Like Pitt recently has been a diving school. We took what 11 divers to conference this
Yep.
past year. Like that was fun, but like I think I forget who I was talking to. Maybe it was Katie, maybe it wasn't, but they were saying like 5 is like a decent number. You have one from each year and then like someone to fill in if like you need them or
Yeah.
just like kind of someone floating, like doesn't really matter. Not like the person's floating, but just like it can be from any year, like doesn't really.
But like my brain, like I don't know how it works. Like I've never even thought about cutting a kid from a team.
Yeah.
Like and I don't know what the rules are because it's never even crossed my mind. Like obviously you can cut a kid if like they're breaking the rules, stuff like that. But like not if they're like showing up doing what they're supposed to do. So in my mind, like, okay, what happens if
Mhm.
let's use imaginary school A, you're diver 4, they only have 4 guys. And so then let's say you're diver 4, and all of a sudden you have like the number 3 diving recruit in the country says, hey, I really want to go to school A. And you're like, well, I can't say no to the number 3 diving recruit. Like, so diver 4, like, sorry, you got to get in the portal and you're gonna have to look to go somewhere else. Like,
Yeah.
now I almost think you have to like as a recruit, you almost like have to ask questions like, am I guaranteed a spot for 4 years? Like, I think that is like a pertinent question that recruits are gonna have to start to ask. And I don't know how coaches are gonna answer that.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like I remember when I was going through my recruiting process, one of my questions was like what's your plan like personally?
Long
Like what's
term,
your
no, yeah.
family situation? Like do you plan on being at this school for
Yeah.
4 years or do you think it could change? And it was like, you only know so far in advance and it was usually like I plan on being here for as long as I can unless something happens, which is like just the generic answer, but
Yeah. That's like it's like my favorite question in the world to answer because it's like, yeah, I'm gonna be at Clarion forever.
yeah.
That's if it burns down or I die of a heart attack, like I'm gonna be at Clarion forever.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. It's I have a lot of I feel really bad for the athletes as the primary thing. Aaron stresses that really well. And then like it's not I can't imagine it's an easy position for the coaches either. And
But
honestly,
like
like
assistant
that
coaches too, right? Because like,
yeah, like
do you
why did
need an assistant coach if
right,
you
like
only have 8 divers?
if,
Like,
if you're an SEC school that, doesn't support diving as much, say they give them 3 men spots, or let's say 2, because like isn't in the Power Four with 3 events, you count as a half, right?
Is that even going to still be a thing?
Right. So like to me, it's like, okay, what if they only give you 2 spots because that's one conference spot, and then it's like, okay, so you get 2 divers, and say 3 women, like, why do you need an assistant coach to coach 5 kids?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, there's that, but it's also so how much of this is going to be like truly fleshed out year one,
oh yeah, like this should
and
have
then
been
how much of it is just going to change every year for the
yes.
next 5,
It-
6, 7 years.
it's
Where
for
does
sure
the red
like
shirt come in too, though?
gradually done. What was that, Dylan? Sorry.
Like, say you have 4 people technically on the team and someone red shirts. Does that mean technically you could have 5?
That's
So,
a-
like, do you have
That's
a
what I'm saying. Like, how
rotating?
fleshed out is this? Like, how
Yeah, do
will-
you have a rotating red shirt? Like,
I was reading, I think it was on Swim Swam, something along the lines of, so I don't know how, I know Ben follows it, college wrestling. You know how like Penn
talking about like
State,
the regional training centers.
and it's like they were talking about like Florida can be a regional training center and you join their club team as a freshman and you train for a year and you don't go compete in a meet that like that doesn't count as a year. And it's like there's so many like little goofy things that schools, there's going to be gray area. Like,
I mean, it's just NIL over again, it seems like.
well, and
Like,
also I just think about it like this: like we try to find loopholes in gray area in fantasy diving, a stupid game. There's like people's jobs that are on the line. Like you don't think they're going to find the gray
Yeah.
areas? Like, and guess what? College football is going to be the first people that figure it out, and then the people who have good relationships with like D1 college football coaches will be like, "Oh, I can figure out how to do that in swimming, diving, tennis, whatever it may be."
yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm not envious of like big time Division 1 coaches over the next like 2, 3, 4 years right now, like at all. Like Ben, like how do you guys handle that at the club level? Like talking with athletes about as this is coming.
It's been tough. So we have one athlete in particular who it's likely going to impact.
Right.
And it became, I mean, it's really the same thing. It's like, are you going to be happy at this school if you do get cut? Like, are you going there for the school or are you going there specifically for diving? Would you transfer if you were to be cut or not guaranteed your roster spot? Those kinds of things. So it's tough and it's something that we need to start including. And that's like you said, like you need to ask, like, am I guaranteed this spot or am I fighting for it every year? Which is probably a good question to ask regardless.
Yeah. I mean, you just have no clue though. Like you have
Yeah,
to
it's just
anything
it's
happens.
tough to navigate.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's part of it now.
Yep. Yeah. I sit there and I'm like, I don't know. I just think the transfer portal is going to be absolutely insane. Like, but I'm also confused because like, so our wrestling is Division 1. So we wrestle in the MAC. And I was talking to our athletic director about it and just was like, because I posted something. I think it was Drew's podcast or his interview. And she like texted me. She's like, hey, stop in and I'll like give you any info I can give you. And I was like, I thought it was Power 4 or 5 that only are included. And she kind of made it sound like it might be everything, but also like we're dealing with it in one sport. So I don't really know how that works. I just know if they're doing revenue sharing, like it impacts you. So like, I just sit here and I'm like, you're going to have a lot of divers that are probably going to stop diving and they're going to stay at that school for their education, which is great. Like that means you are at the right spot for you. You're getting a good education and it really stinks that these roles are impacting you and you can't do something you're passionate about. But you're also going to get kids that are going to like you're going to leave school A that has really good diving and you might go to school B that is like a pretty good school too, but now school B has a kid that has to leave because you want to go there. It's like the trickle down of it. Like there, it's gonna be messy. Like I think it's gonna be really messy. I think it's gonna be really chaotic, and there's gonna be a lot of opportunity for coaches to take advantage, not advantage, but like to benefit their team and improve their team if they're smart about it. But I don't know. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I know someone that I've talked to that didn't get like a 5th year opportunity because of like the I don't know if it was necessarily that, but it's like, look, like there might be this stuff, like we have this many scholarships, like we're trying to bring like a new freshman in, like we just don't have the bandwidth to do it.
Yep.
Um,
I don't know.
when are they planning on like implementing it? Is it still like just in the
I
talking
believe for the
stages?
fall of
Oh
next
no,
year.
it's happening for like next year, next school
Yeah,
year.
year?
I believe fall
Yeah,
already
like
happened. Yeah.
but I think we're gonna see a giant influx of hundreds and hundreds of athletes probably what's conference like second, third week of February, third, fourth week of February.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
once the season ends, those conversations are gonna happen.
I bet you some of them are probably happening. Like, I can't even imagine being an athlete. Like,
That's what I'm saying. I'm so
and
glad.
you know that conversation's coming to you. Like, there are kids right now that they know they're not going to be where they're at right now.
Yeah.
It has to be hard. Like, how do you show? I mean, obviously you want to get better, but like, it can't not be on your mind of like showing up to practice and it's like, well, I'm not going to be here next year because the team's getting better, or I'm a junior, I'm about to be a senior, and I've never even been on the conference team. Like, they're going to get like, I can't even imagine what they're going through and how they're dealing with it. But it's going to be crazy. It's
Bro,
gonna.
back just updating the diving so far. Ellie Reese has climbed all the way up into sixth. She's only 10 points back from fifth with one dive remaining.
Oh.
And Darren Wright just
Darren's got to be like 100 points ahead at this
smoked
point.
a 207. Darren, that is the Darren Wright dive officially. 77.55 on 207 for Darren. That's
Ellie Reese climbed up. What was she like, 11th?
yeah, 10th. I think 10th or 11th, somewhere in there. Yeah.
To get up to sixth, like, because what, she's hit 3 in a row. She hit four. She's hit what, 3 out of 4?
She missed back.
So she's hit 3 out of 4 so far.
Yep, she's hit 3 out of 4 and inward last. I mean, she smoked it in the prelims. If she does it again, I would assume she's gonna bump up one more spot, probably to fifth.
I would love to. We'll do some math and see what her score is on this 6 dive list.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Where it compares. Be something
that'd be cool.
we're gonna do this again tomorrow. At least me and Rooney. If you guys want to join us, you're more than welcome to.
I will make no guarantees, but maybe.
You said
I
what?
have 6 hours of dry land tomorrow, so Sundays are fun.
Anything tomorrow so I can jump on?
Might have to do just one event. I'm starting to fade.
Yeah, that's fine. We can do one. We can pick
Right.
one. Maybe we
Yes.
can peek at the results and see which one's like the closest and the most interesting or something.
It's
I also
9.
like how this was a watching of the diving. We've not talked about the diving.
Yeah, it's all good. I mean, it's entertaining. It's on in the background. We love just watching it, but yeah, the commentary is kind of fun.
We'll have to practice as we get ready for Bergen, Rooney.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
Well, you guys did commentary at
Interesting.
Winter Nationals, didn't you?
Heath
I
did.
did. It's a
All
little,
right, you were announcing, right?
but also just like where they had us put up for that Winter Nationals was just rough. Like, you were up
Hey,
in
you're
the
like way up at the top of the stand.
Yeah, that was crazy.
trying to look.
I remember you're like, "Do you want to come up there and do commentary with me?" I was like, "That is a horrific idea."
Like I did it with
The
Max.
fact that I've now been like on like something that you're putting on the podcast, this is I guess the 4th time, and I still haven't cursed, is a miracle.
But we did talk
It's
about
impressive.
the show Naked and Afraid, though.
No,
Yeah,
I didn't talk about it. I had nothing to do with
That's
that.
fair.
Don't put that on me.
That's fair.
I stayed silent.
That's fair. But no, like we did that with Max Weinrich and like commentating it that Winter Nationals. And I remember like he did a good job and we were like, "Hey, you want to do it again?" And he's like, "Hey, no offense, but like I actually just want to watch the diving because like you have to literally stand and look
yeah,
horrible."
yeah. It'll
That
be
sucks.
interesting. Like
Solid back twist.
in my mind, when it comes to commentary, like obviously we can see when they push back from the platform. We can see when it's splashy. We can see when their legs come apart. But like, how much do we say? Oh, here's how I would fix it. Like, we're not coaches. Like, especially not for these athletes. So it's going to be an interesting kind of how we navigate that.
Well, that's like
Be the play-by-play and I'll be the
especially, like,
color.
yeah. I mean, there's that, but I mean, that's the difference between being the commentator and being the coach.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to comment on my
Nope.
former divers' dives for that exact reason.
Yeah. Super fair.
That's not my place.
I'm sorry for setting you up for failure because I definitely.
It is what it is. Like,
All right, here you go.
Okay. Ellie
Watch
Reese,
this one. Watch
last dive, 405. Smoked it in prelims.
watch the toes.
I got this one.
Yeah. Watch the toes. You have this. Of course, Heath has this dive.
this, dude.
It's okay. Every other dive that I had in
I
finals,
bet she smokes it, bro. She's so good. Come on. Oh, that was better.
That was better.
What did it score in prelim?
Yeah, that was
67,
better.
68.
Seven,
Yeah,
71. She got a 9. Let's go. Wow.
So, Ben, you're the tower guy here. What
Am
do you like? What I'm not saying like how does that go from an 8.5 to a 10? Like, what makes it a 10 compared to that?
I mean, the first answer is always going to be. I mean, I guess there was a splash on the bottom.
Right, right.
I mean, it's tough. I think she's 12. She doesn't have the power that some of these other girls have. Like, it's hard to get. Well, that dive in general is hard to get moving up and away from the tower.
Right.
A lot of girls just kind of throw down at it.
Yeah.
I mean, that was. I mean, overall, I mean, that was a great dive. It deserved the scores that it got.
Yeah.
She's probably gonna bump up. I mean, what was that, 71?
She has to get at least fifth.
I can't imagine. It's Kylie. I think is it Kylie Clark? Kaylee Clark. She's probably the only one that could catch her. She was 10 points ahead going in.
Yeah.
No, that's crazy, man. 12 years old.
I think that's definitely like, hey, like
She deserves it.
yeah, like
Yeah.
definitely like I mean, you just beat legit Olympic trial qualifiers and kids that probably we're gonna see at Division One NCAAs. And
there's
like
Olympic trials finalists. Like there's, I'm assuming NCAA finalists.
yeah, like I mean, it is like Ellie Reese Nade is here and like add a front 3.5 pike, add a bigger twister, like whew. All right. It's gonna be really fun.
Pretty cool to watch.
The next 3.5 years, like with Darren Wright, with Bailey, with Ellie Reese, if Sophia sticks around, like
Anna
Lemkin,
like it's
Taylor,
gonna be.
And then like there's
fun,
divers that aren't even at this meet.
right?
Yep. Like who comes to your mind whenever you think of divers that aren't at the meet right now?
Just not even other Texas diver like Jaden Lynch isn't diving in this meet for whatever reason. I don't know if she doesn't have the 10-year list or what it is. She's a great tower diver.
Yep.
I mean, just in general, that's one that jumps out just because she dives with Bailey at Texas.
Yeah.
But there's definitely like someone else could just come out of nowhere in the next 3 years.
Yep.
It'll be interesting to see how things play out.
It's gonna be fun. And I would imagine that I mean, I would guess Ellie Reese is probably gonna focus a lot on tower over the next 3.5 years. I mean, she's still gonna do springboard, but like this is her jam. It's gonna be fun to see because she'll be 16, well, 15, 16 years old at the next trials. That's wild.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy to think about.
So what, she probably went about like 280, somewhere like 285-ish.
526. I'm not. Yeah, I don't know what she started with.
I'll figure it out and mention
it. Should show you on dive meets. Like you just go to the finals and then you look at her dives, add it up.
That's wild. That's awesome.
Show you what she started with, and I think that's the first column.
Yeah, that's good for her. That's awesome.
I mean, definitely cool. It's definitely like objectively like the coolest story.
Yeah.
Of the meet. Like not even like, hey, like she's great. Like that's just cool that we have a 12-year-old that young blood that's up there and did great.
Yeah. It's cool just like seeing her compete against these, like you're looking at like Bailey right up there with a 12-year-old, and it's like it's got to be a cool experience for her to compete against these girls that when she was at Olympic trials, I think she did like the walkout for this event. Like she did the award presentation.
Oh, so, I don't know. I was up in the stands, man.
Oh yeah.
Heath, I just did the math. 286.4 for this list.
I gotta guess that's gonna be a top 3 finals.
Honestly, with a vault and
in an Olympic year, that's a trials cut.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Here goes Bailey, 307. Let's go.
This is the one dive I did see. So.
Is it a happy C or not a happy C?
We'll see.
Come on.
All right.
Yeah, that'll work. Vertical.
There.
What, probably in 60s?
Vertical.
A little less. Yeah.
56.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
Yeah.
I will say, I got to give Bailey a lot of credit. The consistency is improving, like dramatically. And not that wasn't expected. We know she works hard, and we know she's capable.
There, buddy.
No, no, no. Not what I
I'm just-
meant. You know
I'm just
what I
giving you a
mean?
hard
But
time.
like,
Nah, I'm just giving you a hard time.
it's really cool. Like, not only is she doing those big dives that we've talked about, but now they're like consistent. Now that we're cooking now.
That 207 went 2 for 2 today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's been cool to see that because I mean she is still relatively new in the sport.
Yeah. That's
When
awesome,
did she
man.
start?
That is like
So-
that still blows my mind to like think about that. It's like she is.
When did she
Like-
start?
Her freshman year of high school.
Like, so 6
Okay.
years. Six.
And
That's
then like
it.
one of those years was COVID, so like we didn't really do anything.
That is crazy.
That is crazy. The only other
I think
person
I think by the
that's
time that
really
she had like
that.
fully committed to diving was COVID. But
So-
she had nothing to compete at, so she was just learning dives.
So let's call COVID like a half year. So she's basically like been really going for like about 5-ish.
Yeah, somewhere in that ballpark. Yeah.
Crazy.
Think about this for a second. She's probably been diving the same amount of time as Ellie Reese.
Probably, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, probably longer than Ellie Reese. I
And
mean,
you get to see like
Wow.
kind
Yeah.
of a different path based upon like age and like how they're like it's just interesting. It's interesting to think about it in that terms.
Well, what's 12 years old? That's what grade is that?
That's sixth.
6th or 7th.
I was
depending
gonna
on
say
what-
it's 12
where
years
she
after
is.
her, but
Yeah.
144 months.
Aaron goes
Dare-
a little long, still won by like 80 points.
Yeah. Darren's
Didn't
gonna win.
even have to do her last dive.
She got a victory lap dive. So
Sure.
What do you
Cool.
think would happen if like one time someone did that and like they could just do a cannonball? And they actually did the cannonball?
It'd be
I think
awesome.
they DQ him.
Well, you saw
you
saw
could.
you saw Jess I'm Parado DM Andrew to do a cannonball on 1 meter instead of
That's awesome.
All right. Well, you guys you guys want me to announce the women's 10-meter fantasy diving?
It's gonna make
Sure.
me real sad.
All right.
Ellie Reese Nide did finish 5th, so that's pretty dang awesome.
All right. In last
All right,
place,
Pete, break my heart here.
Samson, 256.95. In
Okay.
4th place, Aaron, 258.6.
Nice.
In 3rd, Ben,
Dude, I'm a bronze medal machine.
Bro,
27.
you're
0.4.
complaining a lot about me winning, and I've gotten second to last in the last
I'm
2
not complaining about
events.
you winning. I'm complaining about you complaining.
That's fair.
In 2nd place, Dylan with 280.8. And I
Nice.
won with 294.55.
Heath, you won
So
again?
here's the actual question. So Heath has been putting all these numbers in. How many times has Heath cheated?
None
That's
yet.
He's
That's
winning
a-
a lot.
That's a good question.
None yet, but we'll get there.
No, I put some numbers in for the other one.
For a men's 3-meter and you still didn't get it over 300.
Okay, dude.
The total
Dude,
point-
on one of the first ones when Aaron was putting it in, I put like 300 points for one. I took out the decimal point.
I saw that.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna end the YouTube. So thanks, Luke.